Hello class, today we are doing topic 15-5 and we are classifying quadrilaterals. So now we're going to be given different shapes and we need to prove or classify them as one of these, and you may have more than one. And you're going to be using the attributes that we've learned in order to classify them. And as you remember from 15-3, the attributes are all of these. So you're going to ask yourself these questions. Okay, is it a parallelogram? So does it have both pairs of sides are parallel? If it does, then it is a parallelogram. And you're going to have some shapes or more than one thing. So we're going to be referring to this as we classify them. A square has several qualifications. Both pairs of sides are parallel, 4 right angles, and 4 equal sides. Okay, so we're going to be thinking about this as we classify each one of our shapes. You can also think about it this way. These are all quadrilaterals. We know that a square is also a rhombus, a rectangle, a parallelogram, and a quadrilateral. It fits into all of those. However, a quadrilateral is not necessarily a square. Okay? So let's keep that in mind as well while we do this activity. Okay, so you've learned about the properties of special quadrilaterals. Today you will learn how the quadrilaterals are related to each other. Okay, so if I'm going to look and find, our first one here is a trapezoid. So I'm going to look at what are the specifications that make it a trapezoid. It has to have only one pair of sides are parallel. One pair, that's its only requirement that it has to have, and that's the only thing it has. So if I look over here at my trapezoids, if it's a trapezoid, it's probably not anything else. Okay, so I'm going to look for a trapezoid first in my figures down below. Okay. So let's find one pair of sides that are parallel. Only one. So if I look at this first figure, well, I see 2 pairs. I'm looking for only one pair. This one has, so it can't be that one. If I look at this one, again, 2 pairs of parallel sides. Now if I come to this one, I see parallel, not parallel. I see one pair of parallel sides. Okay, so this one is definitely a trapezoid. So I'm going to put R up here. So that's what I'm looking for. Now I'm looking for this next one. Does this have one pair? Nope, there are 2. I don't see any parallel sides on this one. So this one, at some point, they're going to intersect. Here. Okay, this top one and this bottom one, they are parallel, has one pair of parallel sides. These 2 are not. Okay, it does fit. That is a trapezoid. So I have shape R, O, and let's continue to see if we can find another one. Okay, this one here, 2 sets of parallel sides, can't be a trapezoid. Okay, this one, it looks like these 2 are parallel. They aren't. So if I were to take a ruler, you would see that this one is slightly tilted down and these 2 would eventually connect way out here. That one's kind of deceiving. So it's not a trapezoid. This one, here we have 2 sets of parallel sides. Okay, so shape figure S. Okay, so I have R, O, and S are trapezoids because they have only one pair of sides are parallel. Okay, now parallelograms. I saw a lot of these. Let's look at the requirement in order for it to be a parallelogram. A parallelogram, both pairs of sides are parallel. That's the requirement. That's what it's got to have. Okay, so I'm going to be looking for both pairs of sides are parallel. Okay, I'm going to start with G. These are parallel, these are parallel. Do I have both pairs of sides? Yes. So G is also a parallelogram. Let's see, I'll do that in a different color. Okay, so G. We also can see that it's a rectangle. So I'm probably going to be using this one again, but right now I'm just looking for parallelograms. Both pairs of sides are parallel. Okay. My next shape, L. This is parallel, these are are both pairs of sides parallel? Yes, so it's also a parallelogram. Let's look at this next one, M. Yes, both sides are parallel, therefore it is a parallelogram. Okay, R, no, because those two sides are not. Let's look at V. If I were to look at this and this, is that parallel? Yes. Are these parallel? Yes, so both pairs of sides are parallel. So V is actually also a parallelogram. Okay, both. And if we look at this figure here, we can see it has both pairs of sides are parallel, so N. Okay, so these are all parallelograms. Let's look at rectangles. We know that rectangles have a little more specific requirements. So rectangles, both pairs of sides are parallel, and it has to have 4 right angles. That's going to limit a lot of different figures because of those 4 right angles. So let's look at all of them and see if we can find the qualifications for a rectangle. So obviously I look at this one right away and I know that as the traditional rectangle. So it has both pairs of sides are parallel, yes, and it has 4 right angles, yes. So obviously G is a rectangle. Do you see any other rectangles? So I'm looking for right angles. Well, I see one here, and I see one here, but I don't see any other figures that have 4 right angles. So that's the only rectangle that I see. So you notice how I'm looking for the attributes that fit the figure. Okay, a square. Do I see any squares? What are the attributes of a square? Well, a square has to have very specific qualifications. That's why not very many things are square, and pretty much a square only looks like this. Because it has to have both pairs of sides are parallel, it has to have 4 right angles, and it has to have 4 equal sides in order to make it a square. So I'm looking for a shape that looks just like this. A square can only be like that. And if I look at my different figures here, do I see a square anywhere? No. Because this is a rectangle. Are all 4 sides equal? No. These two are longer than those. So do I see any squares? None at all. So I'm going to write none. Okay, my last one is a rhombus. So I'm going to look at the attributes of a rhombus. What are the qualifications that make a rhombus? Well, it has to have both pairs of sides are parallel, okay, but it has to have 4 equal sides. The difference here, it does not have to have right angles. So it looks more of like a diamond shape. So 4 equal sides, parallel sides. This is kind of a traditional looking rhombus. Let's see if you can spot the rhombus here. It looks a little bit different. So 4 equal sides, and both pairs of sides are parallel. So that means it's going to fall under the parallelogram category. It's also a parallelogram, but this shape is also a rhombus. Were you able to find it? If you picked V, that would be correct. Here we can see both pairs are parallel and it has 4 equal sides. So a rhombus often looks very similar to, it can look like a diamond kind of shape, and it looks sometimes like this, like a slanted square, because it has those 4 equal sides. Okay, so for classifying today on your quick check, it says which quadrilateral is not a parallelogram. So if you're thinking about this picture here, will really help you with this question. Which one of these shapes, so I have a square, a trapezoid, a rhombus, and a rectangle. So out of those, which one is not a parallelogram? Well, I can see right off the bat which one is separate. It's not a parallelogram, it's the trapezoid. Next question. How are a rhombus and a square alike? Well, if I'm looking at my rhombus qualifications, both pairs of sides are parallel and it has 4 equal sides. So I can see both pairs of sides are parallel, 4 equal sides. That's how they are the same or alike. Okay, so you have a question like that. So refer to these notes, and I've attached them in this assignment. Look at this. This is like your guide for attributes and classifications. Okay, how are parallelograms and trapezoids different? So if I look at a trapezoid and a parallelogram, what makes them different? Well, if I see here, parallelograms, both pairs of sides have to be parallel. In a trapezoid, only one pair is. That is how they are different. Okay, which quadrilateral is always both a rectangle and a rhombus? So it is both a rectangle and a rhombus. Which one of these can be both of those? So if you're going up, so if I'm looking at a rectangle, is it a rhombus? No, because it doesn't have 4 equal sides, right? It just has the 4 right angles. Which one of these figures has 4 equal sides and 4 right angles, therefore it's both? Yeah, it would be the square. See, the square is a lot of different classifications, but nothing else is a square because it has several things it can categorize itself in. Does it have 4 right angles? Yep, it does. Does it have 4 equal sides? Yep. Okay, which statement is always false? So then you're going to have a statement there. All squares are rhombuses. Is that true? Yeah, that's true. So you're going to go over each statement and see if you can find the one that's false. All trapezoids are quadrilaterals. Yes, a trapezoid is a quadrilateral because it has 4 sides. All rectangles are parallelograms. Yes, because it has both pairs. Remember, going up. All parallelograms are squares. Not always. So I've now found the false statement. All right, get to work, go do your quick check, and hopefully you get all of these right today.